ECB as a whole must be in a much more balanced position. Overhiking is essentially non-acceptable as a position because we need to know exactly where we are heading to. We have lots of information that we need to use to produce a good policy decision that avoids excessive cost to whatever the process may be in the future. Inflation is coming down. It is coming down as quickly as it went up. It's really something that we need to acknowledge. We target headline inflation, and this is our main focus. Of course, there are underlying pressures on prices that we must follow and we must monitor, and we are also doing that. The labor market in Europe is very strong. For the strength of the labor market and for what inflation meant for workers and firms in the last couple of years, we are not witnessing clear signs of second-round effects. This is the joint model of Europe in which you have workers and firms, but also policymakers debating issues. We are very strong on that, on our social capital.
Yes, the next hike is more or less a given already in July, because that is more or less the guidance we are getting from the ECB. But would you say then this is enough for now, and given that we are already in a very restrictive territory?
Well, we have to take on board all pieces of data until July to have a firm decision. Everyone has its own scenarios. The data of the PMIs and the IFO for Germany were not really what we expected. So the economy is already taking a hit. And if the economy takes a hit, inflation will react accordingly. So we need to take everything on board to take a decision. And coming to the end of July, we will see. It is true that in our baseline, we have a projection that stabilizes inflation at close to 2% in 2025. And the market expects a new hike in July, which is already included in our model, in our forecast, which means that this can be seen as a compromise in that sense. But we have to get to the meeting. And producing guidance is very important for central bankers because we manage expectations. That's why I think it's of utmost importance for us after the summer, in September, to be highly predictable about the path of interest rates in the future. We are definitely getting to the terminal point of this process, and what our citizens, firms, households, governments want from us is predictability. Let's work towards that hand.
But in your in your opinion, the terminal rate might be reached very soon. That is at least what I can hear from you.
That's my opinion. I don't have a number to give you. I actually want to set that as we decided in the ECB, being data dependent and meeting by meeting. But of course, the process was very short, but very intense. When here, 400 basis points, this is a lot. There's a lag on monetary policy effect. We all know that. It has to do with the term structure of interest rates. It has to do with the time that economic agents take to absorb the decisions of monetary policy. And we expect it to be at least 18 months long, which means that we are not even observing the full impact of the first decisions that we took 1 year ago. This is also something specific to this process, because before, in the periods of hiking interest rates, it took us much longer to hike these many basis points in our interest rates, which means that the effect was also more gradual. When the effect will come, it may come abruptly, and we cannot be surprised about it. It will be not it will not add to our credibility if we say at some point, look, now this is having a huge impact and we are surprised about that. No one can say that.